Man, he's been working hard on
He's usually in the low 50s, mid 50s. Do you think you could actually still pick up golf over it?
Yes. Yes.
Could you learn golf with a loopy leg?
Yes.
Hopefully nothing too invasive.
Absolutely.
See, oh, I got my aches and pains, but I'm okay.
It is what it is, but yeah, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, they can't do surgery. That's right by the bottom.
Yeah.
With this type of cancer, luckily it's really reactive to the chemo. Scar tissue just kind of sits there forever.
All right, looks like we're ready. We'll go ahead and begin. We welcome everybody to today's Wednesday, July 3rd's Harriman City Planning Commission. Appreciate your attendance tonight. We'll go ahead and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our own Bryce. Come on forward, Bryce.
Please join with me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bryce. We do have a full quorum tonight. We appreciate the attendance tonight. I'll just ask if there's any conflicts of interest from anyone on the Planning Commission tonight for any of the items on the agenda. Okay, seeing none, we'll move to item 3.4, which is an approval of the minutes for our June 5th Planning Commission meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for June 5th, 2024.
All right, we have a motion by Heather,
I'll second it.
a second by Daryl. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we'll move on to our administrative items. Before we jump to item 4.1, it is up for a public hearing. So with that, I would like to just read the public comment policy and procedure. The purpose of public comment is to allow citizens to address items on the agenda. Citizens requesting to address the commission will be asked to complete a written comment form and present it to the city recorder. In general, the chair will allow an individual 3 minutes to address the commission. A spokesperson recognized as representing a group in attendance may be allowed up to 5 minutes. This policy also applies to all public hearings. With that, we will move on to item 4.1, which will be presented to us by Lauren, which is a consideration preliminary plat for one commercial lot in Garden Plaza subdivision.
Hi, alrighty, so we are looking at the Garden Plaza.
Can we get our monitors, by the way? Oh, maybe it's my own fault. Maybe I don't know how to turn on a monitor. Excuse me, there we go. Well, you got it? All right, I got mine. Daryl?
No, I don't.
Where's the, in the front of it? There it goes.
It's underneath.
It's underneath.
Mine.
Oh, mine was in
Yours
front.
is old school.
Don't call them old. All right, go ahead, Lauren.
Alrighty, so we are looking at the second plat in this area. We looked at the first one a couple of weeks ago. There we go. All right, so this is our larger vicinity map. We are in the top of Harriman. This is just up the street near the Good To Go's. So this is the new parcel that we're looking at right here. It's right next to what is currently Zion's Bank that's being built, is Plat 1. So we're just looking right next door. It's just a little over an acre and will also be C2. This is a better example of what it actually looks like next to the current plat. Finally, as far as staff findings go, as zoning, we would like to work with them a little bit more on the landscaping for the park strips, and then Engineering will need a soils report as well as a remediation plan just before the plat is recorded. This says the same thing.
Very good. All right, any questions for Lauren? All right, thank you. Is the applicant here? Is there any additional information you'd like to present tonight? Nope, okay. All right. As I mentioned, this is open for a public hearing, so at this time, I will go ahead and open up the public hearing for any comments on this particular item. Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
All right, we have a motion
Second.
by Heather and a second by Jackson. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that public hearing is closed at this time. Any discussion by Planning Commission or any thoughts? Or a motion?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve item 4.1 with the 3 stipulations or recommendations from staff.
Second.
I have a motion by Jackson and a second by Heather. We'll go ahead and call for a vote via roll call. Jackson.
Yes.
Brody.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
Daryl.
Yes.
Preston.
Yes.
Andrea.
Yes.
All right, that motion passes. Thank you very much. We will move on to item 4.2, Michael, which is a consideration of preliminary plat for 2 residential lots in the Oakley Estate subdivision.
This is an item that the commission is familiar with. It was presented to you on June 5th. We had a public hearing which was closed, and the item was tabled for additional review. Just for reference, this is the vicinity location of the property. It's off of 139th South. The property is approximately 5 acres in size. It has an existing single-family home. This is a project that's been long in the making. It started in 2020, which was initially 5 lots, subject to a potential rezone that was denied by the city council. The applicant prepared a few different versions of a modified plan. Eventually, you saw a 3-lot proposal, as I said last month. And now, based on development costs and input from the city, the applicant has revised that plan again to 2 lots. So this was the original 5-lot plan. We had some public comment that indicated that they liked the alignment of a potential new road serving this subdivision. But as you recall, we also had some residents saying that they would really like to keep a more rural cross-section on 139th South. When the city council had heard this rezone request and had denied it for half-acre lots, the council also supported the residents' interest in having not having high back curb on 139th, which there isn't any east or west of this property to tie into anyway. So we're using the low-impact design solution on 139th. Again, that was subject to a rezone that failed. This was the 3-lot proposal. It had a flag lot, and it was the flag lot that the applicant determined was just too costly at this point in time to really include it in the proposed 2-lot subdivision. So the existing home will remain on the balance of the property, I think about 1.5 acres. This was some slides that we had referenced last time, just talking about the process of dedicating the improvements. They are required as part of the platting process. And then we had this discussion as to whether or not there's an opportunity to reduce the acreage for dedication. And our city attorney said in this particular application, the answer was it was not applicable. So our recommendations are in the staff report. You will note that the recommendation here says that the final subdivision plat shall be recorded within 2 years. So because this application started in 2020, they're actually vested under our older code, even though we have a pending provision to change that. So they still have that 2-year window for recording the preliminary plat. And then you have options before you tonight. Again, if there were for some reason an appeal, that would be heard by our own appeals hearing officer. And then if there is an appeal to our decision or the appeal hearing officer's decision, that would go to district court. So again, we are recommending approval as proposed.
Great. Could you go back a few slides to where we see the lot? I just wanted a point of clarification, right there. The little flag portion down the bottom, it says it's part of Lot 3. I believe that should be part of
Yeah,
Lot
it was
1,
a-
right? I just
you
want to make
mentioned that
sure.
was a typo.
I mentioned
Yeah.
that, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that as public record, that
Yeah, it was
that
just-
is, yeah, it was a typo, but just want to make sure everybody is aware of that as well, so. Any other questions for Michael this time? Okay, thank you. The applicant's here. Any additional information? You're welcome to come up and provide any additional thoughts to us, or? Okay. Yeah, any questions for the applicant, too, if we want to have him come forward? Seeing none.
I guess
Yep.
can you
Is
go
this,
back to
is
the,
this for the applicant or just a general discussion now?
might be for the applicant.
Okay, right, we'll have the applicant come forward, then we
Can
got
you
a
go
question.
back a slide? Right there. So with lot 1, is there going to be like a cross easement access to get across lot 1 to where the home is?
Yeah, that access and
Yeah,
utilities.
even though it's green, it's slightly shaded there against
Okay.
the property
see
line.
that
Yeah, it'll
25
have
foot
an
easement.
existing access,
Yep.
plus utilities will run in that easement too.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Okay, anything else for the applicant?
Is that, so, I have a question with that. So I'm assuming that includes, the easement is included in that 1 acre measurement?
Yep.
Yes.
For that
Yes,
lot?
because it's an existing home, it doesn't need a dedicated access, so it'll just have a easement over that
Yeah, so it's just-
over the new lot.
It's just gonna be an access, it's not gonna be a road.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So again, we did have a hearing on this last time, so we are not having a hearing tonight on this item. So with that, any discussion or motions from the Planning Commission tonight?
Makes sense from what we saw last time.
I do remember one of the concerns was including that back flag portion as part of that 1 acre measurement, as well as it being included as basically part of that road. I get that it's going to just be an easement for access to the house. I'll be honest, I personally didn't have a huge problem with it the first time it came across, but I do just want to bring up that that was the main concern, and that isn't really being changed here.
Well, I thought the main concern was that they were treating it as 1 acre before they took out
Before the
portion of the
dedication.
road.
Right.
Before that 30
So
foot dedication.
they've addressed that
They've just
now
made
that
it
it's 1 acre.
an easement instead of a road.
No.
Well, no,
This
the
is
frontage,
fronting
see where there's a
139.
lot line that goes halfway into the street on 139?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
That was the issue that was brought up last time.
They pushed it back into the current present.
So you notice that the dedication now, the 30 foot
Showing.
is no longer included in the
Yeah, in the acreage.
calculations of the acreage.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a significant amount.
Yeah, you see it right there, the road dedication of .229 acres there, yeah. Okay,
Is, also a question for the applicant again, sorry.
go ahead and come forward again.
So is this gonna result in all of those trees having to be torn out?
Which trees? In the
That
front?
are, between the existing property and lot 1?
The property line no, so, and that's kind of why
You had
that
it.
property line is placed where it is. I live in that current home.
Right.
And so I'm trying to keep, that natural property line with the trees that were there. They were planted when the home was built in 1980, so that's kind of why that property line is where it is. So we're hoping that those will stay there. You might lose the one that's in front of the easement, just
Sure.
depending on how future utilities and stuff come in. The existing home is only on electric, and so I would like to be able to run sewer and gas and water back to it. It's on well water. So depending on how those utilities work through that area, you might only lose that one tree right there that's in the corner of that lot. So the rest, the property lines are kind of designed to stay That's kind of also why we have that little portion in the back.
Right.
Is just to try and keep a lot of that out of the front yard. I'd hate to sell that, move that property line to the other side of the trees and then have somebody come in and rip them all out that wasn't that homeowner, So we are trying to keep as many trees on the property as we can.
What utilities feed the existing house right now?
It is only electric
Just
and
power?
there's a well on site, so
And
it
septic
runs.
tank.
So to run
Septic, yep.
city
Yep,
utilities,
so the plan is to run city utilities back to that house, be able to connect it
so
to,
are you going to run those, or are you expecting,
no, I also develop, so.
right, okay.
So I'll be doing most of that and building a home on the property to live in also, so.
No, I'm good with that. I mean, otherwise you would need
Yeah, yep.
a higher level of easement
Yep.
to allow the utility companies to push
And that's
that.
kind of why from the last plat to this one, after getting the costs that were required for the flag lot,
Yeah.
it really wasn't feasible because when you start looking at the amount of road base, fire hydrant, the water retention system you required, it's almost the value of the, the other lot that you would sell off, so.
Well, for me, the hang-up last time for me was the dedication on 139, and I appreciate you taking care of that.
We've made him a little yo-yo tonight. Any other questions for our
We're
applicant?
good, we're good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. There's no further questions. I'll entertain a motion. My paper.
Anyone? I'll make a motion. 4.2. Make a motion to approve item 4.2, the consideration of a preliminary plat for 2 residential lots in the future Oakley Estates subdivision with staff recommendations.
All right. We
I'll
have
second that.
have a motion by Darrell and a second by Brody. We'll again do a roll call vote. Jackson,
Yes.
Brody,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Andrea,
Yes.
Preston,
Yes.
Darrell.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion passes. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to item 4.3, which is a consideration of a conditional use permit amendment for the Premier Pickleball.
Alrighty, so we are back again at the top of the city. This is located within the Anthem commercial area. We have already looked at and approved the site plan. This is an amendment for the outdoor area. We had asked the applicant to add a little bit more to the outdoor area instead of just some courts. We're looking for some storage, seating, as well as restrooms, and they have accommodated all of that. Here you can see that green area is what we are looking at tonight. And the way they met those accommodations was with 9 picnic tables. 6 of them are under that shade structure. There are 2 restrooms, 3 full outdoor pickleball courts, and then half a pickleball court. I don't really know what you do with
Practice
that,
court,
but yeah. And then this is that new landscape plan for the area, so you can see that back corner that was the drainage easement area has been moved, and now it's a nice little usable corner with a tree. Zoning didn't have any concerns, and engineering, it was a stop sign. I've spoken with the applicant. There is already a stop sign there, so that worry has been handled.
Already taken care of. Very
Yeah,
good.
so we can go ahead and amend this to just one recommendation, that first one. The second one does not need to be a part of it.
Already there. Okay. Great. Any questions for Lauren? Thank you. All right, if the applicant's here, any additional information you'd like to step forward and provide to us, or please just state your name for the record, please.
My name's Jamie McQueen. Appreciate you folks meeting with us tonight. After being out there and looking at what's going on, we thought that moving 3 pickleball courts outside would add to the environment instead of leaving it as something else. So getting a lot of feedback saying that it's really difficult to find outdoor pickleball courts that you can reserve, that you set up a time and go out there and do that. So we're trying to add that to the whole idea. We've got 10 courts inside, 3 outside. I think it'll add to the community out there quite a bit.
Yeah, wonderful. No, appreciate that. Any questions for the applicant? Appreciate the improvements that have been made as well.
Thank
to the
you.
plan. Thank you. Any thoughts, discussion?
I just think adding the shading and seating is gonna
Nice touch.
make it makes
Yeah.
it far more of a amicable environment for pickleball.
Yeah. For the old guys, they can rest on the
Yeah,
shade, right?
that's right.
I should know. I'm talking to myself there, so. Okay. It's 4.3 if you.
I'd like to make a recommendation to approve item 4.3,
Or
consideration.
it's actually a motion to approve.
Oh,
It's not
motion,
recommendation.
sorry. Motion
Yeah.
to approve item 4.3 with staff's 2 recommendations.
Actually, just need one.
It's just the one.
Oh, yeah, it's just one. Stop signs, good.
I'll
Just one.
second.
All right, we have a motion by Brody and a second by Preston. We'll call for a vote. Start with Andrea.
Yes.
Preston.
Yes.
Daryl.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
Brody.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
All right, that motion passes. Thank you very much. Any comments from members of the commission tonight? Any thoughts? Okay. Seeing none, we'll just announce the next meetings coming up. So next week, we have our city council meeting. 2 weeks from today, we have our next planning commission meeting. And 4 weeks from today, a potential, still up in the air, we'll know for sure soon if there'll be a joint city council planning commission meeting on July 31st. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion by Heather. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Andrea. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned.